All right, everybody. I'm covering it. I'm covering the H3H3 drama. The current one, the one that's happening right now. And I know there's always a new one, and there's always something going on, because H3H3 seems to be like a drama magnet right now for some reason. But we're talking about the one having to do with James Charles. I unironically don't know much about this drama. My girlfriend wanted me to cover this today, and I mean, it is very relevant. People seem interested in it, so I figured, let's learn. Let's learn about the drama. So apparently, Ethan Klein has been accused of being homophobic on his podcast. Now, Ethan Klein is an interesting figure when we think about his political positions going back to the day. Ethan Klein is actually partly responsible for the popularization of the anti-SJW era on YouTube and online back in the day. Ethan Klein's video was the video that, like, brought the humongous what video to the masses. And the framing, and not to say that, like, Ethan Klein or Gila or any of them were in the wrong for making fun of that video specifically, but, like, it popularized the triggered and the SJWs, and, like, they played a big part in that, despite Hila and Ethan both being pretty decidedly left-wing, like supporting Bernie Sanders and stuff. With that said, though, they did still play a part in sort of that cultural push. Now, though, Ethan Klein is, like, pretty damn woke. Like, he's not doing that kind of stuff anymore, apparently, and his messaging is, like, significantly more politically charged and certainly more left-leaning. He does a podcast with Hassan Piker, and I know we don't like Hassan Piker here usually, but I mean, like, Hassan is a lefty. Clearly doing a political podcast with a figure like Hassan indicates left-wing positions. So while Ethan Klein's current content isn't something that I've watched a lot of recently, I think Ethan Klein's content, for me, in my opinion, I'm not judging its current quality, I'm judging my interest in it. My interest in his content probably peaked back during the age when he was having Internet Comment Etiquette, Jack's Films, and Boogie on the H3 podcast and on, like, the in-person set. That was, like, the peak of my like fandom of H3, and that was like 2017, maybe 2018. But I mean, I like H3. I don't hate him or anything. He gets a lot of shit, especially from some of the people that I know in the drama community, and I understand why he gets some of it. But I feel like a lot of it is unwarranted. But granted, I can only see so much. And I'm not exactly, like, the most drama paying attention to kind of guy you're going to find in this space. So I don't put a lot of brain power into knowing what's going on with content creators and their interpersonal drama. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into this. The clip that's really being tossed around a lot is this one, a compilation of Ethan Klein using homophobic language on his podcast. So we're gonna be watching this 6-minute clip, as well as this video from T-Spill, very popular T channel that does some pretty basic, just straightforward explaining the situation and giving a take kind of videos that we should, get a little caught up on as well. But we're gonna just hop right into it, why don't we?
He has some anal leaking.
Oh.
Now, we were saying, well, if he's getting blasted in the ass hard enough, potentially, you may need to wear a diaper. And a lot of you will say, like, okay, we've had a debate, like...
I think they're talking about James Charles having a diaper fetish here.
I don't think vaginas increase in size from sex, but assholes actually do. If you have a lot of anal sex, you can actually blast open your anus. Frequent anal sex can result in a blasted open asshole.
Okay, so far we're 25 seconds in out of 6 minutes and 55 seconds, and so far this just comes off as like a couple of dudes chuckling because butt sex funny. Listen, guys, butt sex is funny, alright? If it's just butt sex jokes and jokes about buttholes being blown out doing butt sex, then, like, guys, you're gonna have to cancel me, because you're gonna have to cancel yourselves. How many butt sex, butthole blown out jokes have you guys made in my chat? How many like you guys love pooping dicks, but does it maybe it gets worse. Maybe it gets worse. Let's find out.
Maybe he's just got railed real hard the night before. He's a power bottom.
No,
That's an option. Power bottom.
So wouldn't that mean that the diapers aren't for him, though?
No, if he's on the bottom, he's getting railed. That he's an enthusiastic receiver. Oh my
So
god.
he's gay.
Power bottom is a
Being
guy
fair.
who likes to wildly ride the peg of another dude.
Where do you see that?
Jesus. Power bottom is a guy who likes to wildly ride the peg of another dude while he jacks you off until both have bone orgasms. Yeah.
Get down to the power bottom.
Okay, guys, literally just so far, this is two dudes like, I'm sorry, have you guys never like been in a Discord call with your friends and just like gone full Beavis and Butthead? Where you're just going, he said butthole. You guys have never done that? The next part is a little worse. Okay. I don't know, this just like seems like two dudes going full Beavis and Butthead here and just like laughing at like toilet humor. I can understand the undertones of homophobia, like the concept of like man on man sex being a humorous thing, the implication of humor being like, haha, it's gross and weird, so we're laughing about it because that makes it funny. But then like, and I can understand the perspective of that being like maybe an indication of homophobic internalized bias, and that's why they're laughing about these jokes. But at the same time, I've also seen people talk this same way about straight man-woman sex as well, with like the chuckling, like have we not like had this exact conversation about frozen Alaskan pipelines where a dude shits in a condom and freezes it and then puts it into a girl's vagina, and we're like, that's straight sex, and we laugh about that shit. Like, I don't know. It could be either or. It could be an indication of like some like some like deep buried homophobia, or it could just be them laughing because sex joke's funny. It really could be either, right? Excuse me, what? You guys have never heard of the frozen Alaskan pipeline? What about the Mississippi Hot Pocket? Or Louisiana Hot Pocket, sorry. The Louisiana Hot Pocket is when you take... Actually, never mind. Let's just watch the video.
The things here on the H3 podcast. I love you guys so much, but y'all really need some LGBTQT.
Why? What did
Shut up.
What did I say wrong?
Shut up.
Colin, if you have a problem with my character,
You got it right. I mean, you literally got it
what
right.
a power bottom was.
Yeah. Shut up. You don't know anything about our sexuality anyways. The fuck do you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
How dare you
Assuming.
assume that none of us are
You don't know shit.
LGBTQ+. How dare you assume that? Okay, we have a call about the top bottom.
Well, I don't know, like, is that bad? I guess he's doing the... I guess you could say it's a reference to the "did you just assume my gender" thing? Is he drinking? Is he drunk right now? He's drinking right now, isn't he? I just noticed this cup, this glass just phased into existence. Look, here there's no cup, and then... Wait for it.
LGBTQ+. How dare you assume that?
Boom, there it is! Coincidence? I think not! Did you see it?
Plus.
Right there.
How dare you
Right
assume
there.
that?
There it is. Did you see that? It's coffee. Maybe it's Irish coffee.
Okay, we have a call about the top bottom stereotype. Hey, Matt.
Oh,
So, Matt,
wow.
what have I
That's
got wrong?
excellent, sir. I know often you feel inclined to describe someone where you think they might be a bottom. And I think that that's often a misconception, that like bottoms may be passive or the
Well, I just mean
more
that he likes.
passive partner.
I just mean that he likes to take it up the butt.
But how can you know that about someone?
Well, that was just
by
a theory about because he wears diapers. It's just a theory.
Oh, no.
Okay, wait. So you're telling me... Okay, hold on. We're getting juicier now. Okay. So Ethan Klein finds out that James Charles is into diapers and into diaper play or some shit like that. And so Ethan Klein starts roasting him for it. But then the roasts sort of move into jokes about getting railed. So now I'm starting to get the concern. Now I'm starting to understand the concern. If it really was No Xanderhall, a screenshot of James Amazon had diapers in the buy tab, that's all it was? Wait, really? That's all it was a screenshot of James Charles Amazon having diapers in the buy tag? They were adult diapers? Oh, shit. Wait, in that case, I'd assume James Charles has an issue with piss in the bed. I don't know. I feel like the diaper fetish is like such a niche thing. Although then again, Pyrocynical's into furry fart inflation porn, so I guess that's. I love how well that rolls off the tongue. By the way, furry fart inflation porn. God, it sounds like wacky waving arm flailing inflatable 2-man. Kind of sounds like that. Farting inflation furry porn. Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue. Furry fart inflation. Yeah. Fart inflation furry porn? Is that a better one? Fart inflation furry porn. That sounds better. Wacky waving arm flailing inflatable 2-man. Wacky waving arm flailing inflatable 2-man. Wacky waving arm flailing inflatable 2-man. What are we doing?
There have been times, I think one that comes to mind.
No, but to be clear though, I can understand the concern here now. Okay, if it really was just like James Charles had Amazon like adult diapers in the previously bought thing on Amazon, so then Ethan Klein derived from that James Charles must be into diaper fetishes, which must then mean James Charles is a bottom, which must then mean James Charles likes to get it in the butt, which is, you know, plausible, but then goes on to joke about getting fucked in the ass and how funny that is. Yeah, no, that's pretty homophobic. Yeah, like let's be real. This line of making fun of James Charles is decidedly motivated, it feels, by some internalized homophobia. Think about it like this. Do you really it's just a sex joke? Listen, something that was really important for me becoming a progressive was realizing that everybody is a little bit bigoted. Everybody has their internalized biases regardless of how progressive they are or how like woke they are or how left-leaning they are, and that what makes you woke and progressive is recognizing them, because like the first step to solving a problem is acknowledging it and recognizing it first, and like breaking down the natural defense of oh, I don't have internalized racism, I don't have internalized bigotry, I don't have internalized whatever, because nobody wants to be an ist or to do an ism if people are accusing them of that, right? Like, people don't like that. But to be like a progressive person, naturally, like one of the biggest steps is to realize, all right, let's see if deep down maybe I do have some biases, right? Like, think about it for a minute. White people in chat, most of you are all really woke. You walk into the lunchroom at school, you see a table full of other white students, and then a table like with a bunch of black students sitting there. You're probably going to end up sitting at this table with all the white students, just because. And this is like a thing that's been like studied, like people feeling as though they want to like clique up in spaces like this due to sort of like social pressures and cues. These are things that are ingrained into us from a very young age, from our media, from the way that we're raised, from even our schooling and our upbringing. The ideas of sort of even just soft societal segregation are kind of implicit at a young age. And these things, these very simple, tiny, barely noticeable things, you do have to think about the way they affect your subconscious preconceptions about people deep, deep down. The point of subconscious beliefs is that you don't consciously know they're there. You have to go looking for them. So go looking for them. Go do a little bit of brain searching for potentially weird ideas you may hold and think about them for a little bit, you know? I'm not like shit talking you. I'm just saying that everybody has it to a degree, and I feel like the defining moment for me of like getting out of my dumb shit period politically was realizing that I don't need to have a little meltdown and try to prove that I don't have internalized bigotry when a BuzzFeed video says maybe you have internalized bigotry. Like, not having a meltdown over that, pretty big step for me, you know? Pretty big step for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Maybe Jordan Peterson that you described as probably being someone that would be a bottom. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. But like I've heard you at times maybe say like, oh, this is someone that might be a bottom. You can't always tell like who's the top, who's the bottom.
So do you find it offensive if I say by being like, oh, he's probably a bottom? Is that the problem? To make
absolutely,
it's offensive.
Because the gay men already you have to deal with certain.
Okay, wait, I just realized it's a mug and it's a painted mug. It might just be coffee. Okay.
about femininity.
I thought it was like beer, and that was like I thought it was a clear glass, and it was beer.
Masculinity.
I mean, it is funny
You're an
though.
ally.
I
You're
don't
an
know.
ally.
I think the problem is that the term power bottom is very funny to me. Sometimes
Okay, power bottom is objectively a funny word. Okay, the concept of power bottom is funny. Okay, that is true. It does feel like what Ethan was doing here is just trying. Like, here's the problem with this. Okay, we're usually pretty like cool when it comes to making fun of people having like weird sexual fetishes, right? We're cool making fun of Quentin Tarantino and his love of feet. We're cool making fun of Pyrocynical and his love for furry fart fetish inflation. We're cool with making fun of like anybody like for their, but like the things that Ethan Klein are making fun of here don't necessarily just like, he could have just stayed on the adult diapers thing and made fun of James Charles for the adult diapers for an entire show. I'm sorry, but like, you give me insert person I don't really like, then there's evidence of them liking adult diapers as a sexual fetish, I can get tons of material off of that, okay? There's plenty I can get from that shit, all right? But then trying to extrapolate that into commentary about the sex life, the specific dynamics of the sex life of a gay person, like specifically because they're gay, that's sussy. Because the things that he's making fun of here are aspects of like gay sex specifically, not like the diaper thing or like it feels like it's moved on from just being the haha butt sex funny, you know? Like, it feels like it's gone a step past that. I don't think he's actually, like, homophobic in any substantial sense. But yeah, I think maybe Ethan Klein thinks, like, haha, gay funny a little bit. Which is certainly a sense of humor that is perhaps informed by internalized homophobia. Which does not mean that Ethan Klein hates gay people. It just means that, like, yeah, he ended up apologizing. That was probably for the best. Like, this is not something worth dying on the hill for. Like, it really isn't. But yeah, I mean, dope.
you know, these alpha men give power bottom vibes. I think maybe the joke is the dichotomy of like their persona of ultra masculinity, but then like the joke being that they're power bottom.
I think
but James Charles is not by any means like a fronter of masculinity. He's talking about Peterson. Oh, okay. Who's Peter? Like Jordan Peterson? Here they're talking about conservatives and assuming they're bottoms. Ah, it's clipped out of context. I see.
Description of like
that's what I hate about clip. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Videos like this do suss me out a little bit when they cut this frequently. All right, like I've been under the assumption that he's talking about James Charles exclusively for the last 3 fucking minutes. They didn't even include any context to provide us the idea that Ethan Klein was talking about conservatives and not James Charles.
Throwing out that someone is just a bottom, like because it just ascribing certain roles.
This person
to people,
does not like Vosh.
Yeah, that's all I'm asking for is just be a little more conscious of it.
So would you consider yourself a top or a bottom, or you don't do that the labels?
And I mean this with all peace and love and with respect, Ethan. It's none of your business.
But you have a preference one way or the other.
But that's another thing.
Yeah, this is unacceptable.
Your assumption too.
Can I guess?
A lot of gay men don't.
You tell me if it's right. If I guess right.
Yeah, this isn't okay. You can't. You don't bring on a caller and then start asking, are you a top or a bottom? And then they say, I'm not really comfortable discussing or disclosing that. And you say, but can I guess? Can I get? Yeah, that's not okay. Whew! All right. This is where we're getting into the undisputably yikes territory. Unless there's some context that I'm not seeing that somehow changes things, that's a little sussy. That's pretty fish.
Right?
That's a little bit fish.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna get into it, Matt. But we all know which one you prefer.
But as long as you understand where I'm coming from on this.
To be honest, I don't really.
Okay,
to be on the
what do you
bottom
think
is
the
to
power
give.
bottom
It's
is?
to give. You know, it's a gracious thing to give.
He does ask a lot of personal questions on the podcast in general. Okay, I know that Ethan apologized, and that's cool, but we're giving commentary about what he did, right? Like, I'm giving my thoughts on what he said as the events go on, right? So here is where I think Ethan really started to do shit that's worth some condemnation, and now I'm starting to get it. Like, up till this point in the video, I was like, is this really that worth covering? I mean, maybe it's a little yikes, but fuck. Also, that background that he has going on, I know it's green screen, but I want to know where that is, because that is like one of the most beautiful little stream forest areas I've ever seen. I would love to visit it. Love to go on a little walk there. Anyway, let's go.
To receive like that.
Power bottom is a bottom who is just the more active bottom.
Oh, okay, I see. So they'll ride it. They can ride. A power bottom will ride it, where a regular bottom will just kind of lay there. So the power bottom is someone who rides enthusiastically. You don't need diapers or anything, right? But like, if you are a regular receiver.
Okay, wait, hold on. Top and bottom is based on who's getting fucked and who's doing the fucking, right? Essentially. That was my impression, right? So but isn't a power bottom doing the fucking? Like, if a girl is riding you and you're just like laying there and she's riding you, is she not doing the fucking? Or if a guy rides another guy, or a guy rides a girl, is the person who's actually doing the motion not doing the fucking? That's how I'd interpret it. The person doing the motion is doing the fucking. Granted, you're fucking each other, but like, I don't know. Bottom equals ass, top equals dick. Wait, then does top and bottom not exist in straight relationships that do no anal? I've never done anal in any form, and I don't like anal, so I'm never going to. Does that mean that like that I will never be like there'll never be? I can't be a top or a bottom until I fuck someone in the ass or get fucked in the ass? Is that how it works? I'm like in a neutral limbo. I'm a middle. Do anal now, Zan? No. I like ass. I don't like assholes, though. How do you know if you don't like it if you've never tried it? Poop comes from there. Top and bottom is control in plenty of relationships. There is no top/bottom relationship. Interesting. A bottom is a dom bottom, not a sub bottom. I'm going to kill myself. All right, let's go. Does it mean who's on top and who's on the bottom? Literally? Control is sub to on. I'm going to kill it. Zan, Twitch, no! Listen, the Twitch mods don't give a shit about me, okay? We're flying under the radar over there, okay? My audience is on YouTube. I'm like a 50 viewer Andy on Twitch and like a 550 viewer Andy on YouTube, okay? We're probably okay on Twitch. We can probably afford to bend the rules a little on Twitch.
So I'm not saying you are. I don't know. But if you were, does the poop pass like any differently from before? Or is it all normal functions? Like I get it doesn't leak out, but I wonder if it just comes out a little different. If you're on the bottom, it doesn't mean you're like a beta. You could be alpha and also still. I
would presume it just mean that, like, you know, your butthole has more stretching capacity, right? You know, like I would guess that like. This is weird to ask somebody about their... is he asking this person about their sex life and their butthole? Because that would be not appropriate. Not appropriate at all. Yeah, this is the cringe part. Ooh, yikes. That's pretty sussy-wussy. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. Like, can you imagine if I had somebody on my stream? Oh my god. Can you imagine if I had anybody who is LGBT on my stream and then started pressing them with questions about their sex life? And like, oh god. I feel like Ethan Klein might have gotten off kind of easy here, low-key. Like, I'm starting to think about, like, this part of the video. If I'd done this, holy shit. Here's a top/bottom/sub alignment chart. I'm okay.
Still be on the bottom. Especially if you're a power bottom.
But
you ride that. Like, theoretically, Jordan Peterson, if he was a power bottom,
we'll take the test
still
on
be
stream.
Alpha. Because he rides it with gusto.
He'd ride it in a vengeful way. So yes, I think that'd be alpha. Yeah.
People are saying I'm Bruno of the gay community. I think we need an alpha bottom. I think we need more distinctions. We need alpha bottom and beta bottoms. More distinctions.
There's a bunny on the log.
So who is gay?
Doesn't that make you gay?
Does it make...
Like, the dream is that Ethan Klein will be able to afford a entire glass, like, zoo enclosure behind him as his stream setup, and this won't be a green screen, but an actual zoo enclosure full of animals living their lives and what have you. That'd be pretty dope. Or the budget way, which is just setting up a Wi-Fi hotspot and building your set in real nature. That works too. Give me bunny. There are so many bunnies that live outside my apartment. I see like a random wild desert bunny every day. They like to hang out like by the front porch, everyone's front porches, and like drink the water puddles that like leak from the AC pipes from everyone's apartment. Like there's little pipes that leak water into the ground from like the each apartment, and so the bunnies, they're like little brown desert bunnies. They're really cute, like tan. They come out and they drink the water, and they just kind of like hang out in the grassy, kind of bushy, kind of shaded areas in front of everyone's apartments. So you'll like open up your door, especially at night. You'll like open your door, and like one or two bunnies will go like hopping as fast as they can away from your porch. It's great.
You gay? Apologies to whatever his name was. Apparently, I was homophobic to him. But whatever. What can you do?
Happy
People
Easter, by
say
the way.
it was gross and disappointing. Saying you can guess if Matt is a power bottom by his voice is so gross. But I was right. That was the point.
Oh no.
Wasn't I? He admitted.
Yeah, of course you were right. And honestly, just so over these fucking people. Shut the fuck up! Shut up! It's a
funny.
fucking entertaining show. Shut the fuck up.
Someone says, I don't know what's up.
So disappointing.
Someone said,
Grow up. Jesus fucking Christ.
Dan.
I don't know what's up with Ethan today, but something's off. Bad vibes this episode.
Shut the fuck up. Unsubscribe.
Oh, no.
Go away.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ.
Someone said,
These people. Okay, come on. Don't do it. Hey. Don't do what Noah Samson did to me. Come on. Hey, I see what you did, Hungamaster 69. Noah Samson did the these people thing to me, okay? Listen, let's not stoop. Let's not stoop that low, okay? Let's not just go and fucking throw intent onto wording that there's no context to support that being the intent, okay? Let's not be we must rise above the dredges and the normies and the peasants who dare to stand the way of the rising Xanderhal army. We must be above them. We must be bigger than them. Yeah. Shame them. I know that it wasn't indicative of bad intent, but it's just so clippable. Yeah, it is.
it sometimes feels like Ethan thinks LGBTQ plus people are exotic or something. It's super uncomfy. Yeah, I think y'all need to fucking...
Honestly, the real issue is Ethan being way too determined to label a stranger against their wishes. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that Ethan would have really done regarding the sex life of a straight person. Maybe he would have. Maybe if there was already an established precedent of that. But I'm trying to think back. I'm trying to think of the most... that the H3 podcast has talked about sex before, and I'm thinking back to Skippy. Who remembers Skippy, the guy who would collect his belly button lint in the jar, and they were talking about boofing Skippy's belly button lint? I think Jack's Films and Internet Comment Etiquette gave Skippy's belly button lint a sniff as well. I don't know, even in that one where they're talking to Skippy about helping him lose his virginity, they didn't even get as weird and into his business as they did with this caller here, I feel like. You know? And that's the only other example I can think of. And I mean, Skippy, identified as straight. So when you have an LGBT person who's got some apparently, based on Ethan's theory, has some unconventional sexual kinks, and Ethan is willing to do all of this with an LGBT person who's in that place, but when it's a straight person, like a cishet person, he doesn't do that. Kinda maybe implies that some of the motivation for Ethan here was some internalized homophobia, potentially. He literally was talking about gum jobs with the grandma dude. Oh, was she? Or was he? Okay. I don't remember that too well, so maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, but that guy brought it up and wasn't obviously super uncomfortable. Yeah, but the point that I'm making, to be fair, is about whether or not Ethan has a penchant for throwing these types of jokes and this type of humor at straight people, like cishet people, or if this is a specifically motivated by some internalized homophobia type deal. That's more so what I'm trying to analyze here.
And do you think it's hard for a straight person to understand how it feels to always have people define you by how you prefer sex? Is that a valid criticism?
No, I'm so fucking frustrated with these people.
Get the fuck out!
Just
So wait,
shut the
what was
fuck
I?
up.
Where did I even? Do you think some of y'all are way too fucking sensitive?
Oh, this could be a good example. This could be a good argument against me. The H3 uncomfortable sex questions remind me of him badgering Michael Stevens from Vsauce about if he's an ass titty or pussy man. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, okay, if he did that, like if H3 has a history of like fucking with people that way, and I mean, Michael Stevens is straight. He's literally got like a wife and kids. Maybe he's bi, I don't know. Regardless though, then maybe in that case it's not like an unusual thing for H3 to get like super weird and pushy with people when it comes to their sexual interests. In which case that's indicative of an entirely different problem with Ethan than homophobia. That's indicative of something else then. That's always been part of his kind of humor. Yeah, I think the issue with humor like this isn't like the humor itself, but the effect it has. And clearly the person that Ethan was talking to wasn't comfortable with where Ethan was taking the conversation, to the extent of saying I'd rather not say several times. And we like consent here. He wants to be Howard Stern. That's how it feels. It feels like he wants to be like a Howard Stern or an Anthony Cumia kind of figure, but like not quite as shock jockey and right wing. I don't know.
Sensitive for the show. To be totally honest, like people in this thread who are saying they're grossed out and whatever, I think this with peace and love, you might be too sensitive to watch this show. If you're watching this show and you're perpetually offended by things I'm saying, you may want to just stop watching. Like genuinely, like does get annoying with some of y'all getting offended all the time. Come on, you talking about power bottoms is like me asking Ela if she likes it in the front or back. Does she ride your cock, or like you pounding her? Respect, Matt. Not cool, dude.
That is pretty, that is a good comparison, actually. The main issue wasn't just that it was an invasive question, it's that Ethan is assuming that effeminate acting gay guys must be bottoms. Yeah, that's obviously indicative of homophobic ideas, right? Like, obviously, like, just being an effeminate gay guy doesn't make you, like, a bottom, I guess. I mean, it's probably kind of a harmful stereotype. Like, okay, we gotta talk about stereotypes, okay? We gotta talk about even positive stereotypes, okay? I'm sorry, guys. Positive stereotypes are still harmful, okay? They are. Even ones that are like, quote, positive, unquote, stereotypes are still harmful, okay? Like I'm trying to think of like some racial stereotypes. Let's see. Okay, all right, here's a good one. A lot of like racist, like here's good examples. Here in America, I don't know how common this is out of America, so if you aren't American, maybe you won't relate with this. But here in America, two of the most common ones are that Asian Americans are good at math, and that black people are more athletic, like, and can jump higher, shit like that. I'm trying to think of other ones. That Jewish people are like naturally attracted to wealth or money or finance related positions. That's a common stereotype. Or like that Jewish people are smart with money or whatever. Like these sound like, or even lazy Mexican. Well, that's a negative stereotype. In Florida, actually, what you hear more commonly is, oh, you want to get a job done cheap and well, you hire some Mexicans. They'll get it done and they're hard workers. That sounds like a compliment, but like, is that not racist? That's pretty fucking racist, and you hear that shit a lot in Florida. I'm sure you hear that shit out here in California, but like you hear that a lot out in Florida. And like these sound positive, right? Or like black dudes having big dicks. That's a common one too. That's another positive stereotype. But like these stereotypes, for one, stereotypes in and of themselves are basically applying a standard that you've basically decided applies to every single person that fits a certain category because you've met or seen or heard of a few examples that fit into that category. So now you've stereotyped or broadly applied that thing to everybody that's like that. That is by definition racist. And as for the harm it can cause, like the example that I've always gone to is the BBC example, because I'm not going to say his name, but I had a friend, and we were friends from like probably my junior year of high school till a year after I came out of high school. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but like I was talking to him and he wanted to lose his virginity, and I was trying to help him out. I was trying to wingman him and like get him a girl to lose his virginity with. And he meets this girl, and he ends up having sex with her, and he comes back to me and he's like, "I'm never having sex with a white girl again." And I'm like, "Dude, why?" And he's like, "Well, my very first sexual experience, I pulled out my dick, and she said, 'Huh, I thought that you'd have the BBC. I thought you'd be bigger.'" And then just completely like, and I was like, "Oh." And he's like, and he says that he's got like 6.5 inches or something. I'm like, isn't that like above average or something? Isn't that like about average even? And he's like, "Yeah, but she was expecting something else." And he was like, "I'm never dating or having sex with a white girl ever again." And that was how his virginity losing experience went, which is fucking horrible. 5.5 inches is average. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna hit you guys with a hot take. It's not, okay? An average, okay, the way that dick size average is measured makes the average smaller than it actually is. All right, I'm saying it right now. Average dick size is probably like 6 inches, okay? Average dick size is probably about 6 inches, maybe more. Because like average is measured by taking a sample of people, including people with like massive cocks and micro cocks, then making an average out of all of that. People with micro dicks and like large honkers fuck up the balances a little bit when you're measuring that. The way you'd actually want to find out would be to you'd have to get a massive sample group, okay? Massive sample groups from so many different areas. America, Canada, every country, every area of the country, every demographic, everything. And you'd have to measure by the centimeter and set up different categories based on the measurements. And then you would rank, you would basically take down the measurements and then build a chart to show for each dick measurement what is the most common. That's what you want to know. When people say the average dick size is 5.5, they think, oh, so then the most common dick size must be 5.5. That's not what it means. That's not what that means. That is median, not mean, but people think of it as median. When people think average dick size, they're thinking the median. That's how they apply what they think. Is that not how you thought of it? Yeah, average is not most... Yeah, but people think, oh, average dick size, 5.5, that's the most common dick size then. That's like, they think of it as like a bell curve. Most people think of an issue like that as a bell curve, so they assume the average, 5.5 inches, is probably the center of the bell curve or somewhere in that area of like dick sizes. That's like how people probably imagine it in their mind. At least that's how I always did. And they're thinking that 5.5 average is the median... that like the median, you know, the most common dick size. I will continue to cope. Kenneth J Bone, it's all good, okay? It's all good. You can do you just listen, Kenneth the Bone. If you've got, or the J Bone, Kenneth I don't know how to pronounce that name. Listen, okay? If you're a dude out there and you've got a smaller magnum dong. We're gonna call it a magnum dong, even if it's only like an inch long, okay? Because we respect all penises here. Listen, guys, there are ways that you can get around that, okay? There, like, go look up some porn of like how dudes with small dicks please women, okay? If you're worried about that, go find ways around it. I'm sure you can figure something out, okay? It's like that. I watched this kid, okay? There was this. Okay, wait, was this a real thing or was it fake? Okay. Please tell me if this is fake. But I saw a story about a guy who's a up to the shoulders amputee on both arms, who met with a controller using his like stumps, managed to beat Dark Souls on his own. He didn't let his disability get in the way of him being an epic gamer. And like, when you see something like that, does that not show you that you can figure it out? Small dick kings out there, there's always a way, okay? If that kid with literally amputations on both arms up to his fucking shoulder blades could beat Dark Souls 1 with a controller, Zan thinks 5.5 inches is small, but I've been with 2 8-inchers and 3 4-inchers, and I prefer the latter, not gonna lie. I'm not saying that 5.5 inches is small. What I'm saying is 5.5 inches is not the most common dick size. So when you say it's the average dick size, make sure you're not... That's true, big dicks are very, very overrated. Well, don't make me feel bad. Zan's 22 and still thinks bigger dick is better. Oh God, you motherfuckers are trying to make me feel like shit. You guys are actually trying to put me down right now. I'm not gonna hear this. We're moving on. I'm sorry, I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. Nope, nope. Clear, 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 clear. We're not talking about this. Stop it. You're not going to convince me that people don't like big dicks. Stop it. You're not doing that. Stop trying to fucking deflate my ego. For statistical distribution supported by the positive real line, the mean actually tends to be larger than the median, not the other way around. I don't know enough about statistics to understand what a word of what you just said actually meant. All right, let's fucking meme it up. What are we doing? Wait, Zan, so you think that bigger dicks are always better for sex than smaller dicks? No. In all seriousness, though, your dick size is really just going to change how you have sex. At the end of the day, it doesn't really change how well you can do it. It changes how you do it if you want to do it well. And then it also depends on your partner, right? So like, if you're like, okay, for starters, no matter how big your dick is, introducing a vibrator if you're having sex with a girl is always going to like enhance the experience for the girl. I'm sorry, but your dick doesn't vibrate, okay? It can't do that. It can't, unless you've put like a fucking like vibrating servo motor into your ball sack to make it shake. I don't think it's gonna pull that off. So I mean, that's always an option, and I do like that option. But like, you can always incorporate like all sorts of vibrating cock ring. Those exist. Well, fuck. It's like playing Doom and adding an attachment to your weapon. You know, like when we played Doom Eternal and you got your like gun and you're like, oh, I need my rockets this time. Put on the rocket attachment, and then like you take that off and you put on the automatic attachment for like the AR. That's actually pretty cool. How did we get caught in this stun lock? I'm gonna lose it. All right, listen up. If you liked this very, very weird video, we're gonna call it a weird one. This is a weird segment. This is a really weird segment. With all that said, if you enjoyed this weird ass fucking segment, please consider leaving a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell icon if you haven't already, so YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload a new video. If you want to support me financially so I can afford to keep a roof over my head, food in my stomach, and the power on so I can keep making you content, consider donating, subscribing, or gifting me a sub over on my website, xanderhall.com/live, to help contribute to my continued survival, as well as me putting on a Shout of the Hedgehog onesie later on in the stream if we hit the $300 dono goal. And of course, you can donate and support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, and Patreon. And if you really want to see me on other platforms, you can follow my social media, my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and my fan Discord. With all that said, thank you all so much for watching, regardless of how you support me. I really do appreciate it, and have a good one.